All right, cool. Here's my question for Nick. Knowing everything he knows and has gone through, everything he's gone through, I'm curious to know what Nick's views are on how good you should get your game slash cold approach skills to be before you start shifting most of your focus from cold approaching to building a social circle. How good should your cold approach skills be? Obviously, this answer is different from everybody, etc.
Okay, you go first. Teach it, and tell me what your best idea of this is, and I'll go.
No, I know for me personally, it kind of depends on what your goals are. Like, dude, I love cold approach. At least at this stage of my life, like I'm 21, and like I love going out every night, and so like my focus really isn't built too much on building a social circle right now. So like I don't know. This is probably more for you than it is for me.
No, that's good. I actually I wanted that. No. The reason I asked is okay, because you're 21, I'm 29, right?
Yeah, you're really old. You'll be dead soon.
And back when I dated in '83, on Sody Pop dates. Okay, so, all right. Well, no, that's the answer. Like I'm gonna get more specific. Don't worry. But that is the answer. Like when I was your age, dude, the thought of okay, well, it depends. That's not just the answer. When I was your age, while I was in college, building a big social circle, that was my world. There was a social circle environment. So from 18, 19, 20, 21, yeah, social circle was really important to me. All right. Then when I graduated college, 21 was 18, 19, 20, the 21, 22, I got back into what you're doing right now, right? Like all my friends had moved off, I was traveling, and I was just like, dude, I don't have a social circle. I don't really want a social circle. I kind of want to go on this weird journey and see how far I can take this thing.
Yeah.
Also, if you live in a city like New York or Hollywood, you need both because the cities are built to build a dynasty of a social circle, but they're also so goddamn big that if you're waiting on your social circle, you'll never date, or you'll never get laid, or you'll never, you know what I mean? It's so big, you need to work on both. But let me read this question again. Hang on. Okay, but I would say I see a couple of bad things. If you always look for patterns of behavior in your life, and make sure that it's a pattern you chose, and not a blind spot that you choose to stick with because it's comfortable. What do I mean by that?
Say it again.
So, any time in your life, whatever you do, business, game, whatever, be careful of the patterns that emerge and make sure it's a pattern that you choose and not one that you continue because it's comfortable.
Yeah, I can see that going both ways. I mean, it could be like you're not really getting anywhere with cold approach, or you're not really like falling in love with the process of cold approach. So then you say, all right, I think this is time for me to like start building a social circle. And it's basically you just quitting early. It could also be the opposite, where you get addicted to just doing cold approach. And like I know, like in my case, I think about building like a big social circle, and I'm like, God damn it, like that sounds like such a like miserable grind. And like, dude, I fucking hate texting. Like, I hate texting.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So like, I could see like on the flip side, like someone in my end who's like obsessed with cold approach, hesitating to ever start building like a massive social circle because like they're just like they're comfortable with like doing cold approach.
Okay. Well,
as weird as that sounds.
That's good. Good answer. Like that's correct. But let me give you. Yeah. Let me add to that. So a lot of things I see, and a couple of things I think that are healthy. I think you're on a very healthy journey right now. You guys, you need to be. There is a time where I think you need to not have the crutch of the social circle, and you should go burn all your boats and go take a year or whatever, however long you need to take, and be like, I live or die every night based on what I go do. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're like, I don't have a safe 6 or 7, a social circle full of 6s and 7s or whatever, 10s or whatever, to go lean on because it's kind of like when you want to go start a business, but you've got that $60,000 a year job. So you've got this comfort zone that keeps you kind of dabble in business on Saturdays for an hour versus being like, oh shit, I just quit my job and I don't know how I'm going to pay rent in 2 months. I got exactly 2 months worth of cash flow. If that's the case, you will go fucking work 15 hours a day till you get the motherfucker popping. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one way. That's one thing I see when I see guys dabbling, where they kind of read the game and they think this sounds cool, but the truth is They're really scared to put it on the line, and cold approach is very volatile for your inner game for a while till you get past some of the stuff, some of the things you read about on the blog. Like, it can be very painful if you haven't taken an inner game seminar, or you don't take an inner game seminar, but I mean, have worked through some of the inner game sticking points that go along with cold approach that naturally emerge, such as the highs and lows. Cold approach, one weekend, you walk out, dude, and you feel like every girl wants you, and you think you're the coolest dude in the world. You might go out for 2 weeks though, and get in your head a little bit, and you literally are like, I can't even open. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't approach. And every girl here thinks I'm ugly, and what the fuck is going on? Last week I was Superman. Holy shit! And then that might hang with you for a fucking month, and you can't shake it. That's normal, man. That is. I still go through that. So, but your ability to have done this for a long enough time to where you break through that and you just see that as part of the process, that's something you can conceptualize by reading about it, but it's not as easy to do when it hits you right in the fucking face, and you're like, wow, hot girls. I've been out. I got 15 phone numbers, and none of them will text me back. Not one. Holy shit. That's a scary feeling if you're scared of the unknown and you don't have any mentors that have said, hey, that's normal. That's okay. That happens. That'll fuck you up. It did me. It scared me for a while. And you also get addicted to this false sense of identity of, like, instead of just being like, I'm Nick, that's one of the hats I wear. I flirt with girls, and that's fun. You start to identify with it. I'm either this person who gets all these girls and I'm this cool motherfucker, or I'm this person and I've had a bad week and I suck. And when you do that, you ride this terrible highs and lows with your self-concept, and that's very dangerous. So that's why a lot of guys dip out and they go back to the safety of their shitty social circle that's nothing good. Okay? Then there's the other guys I see who are like cold approach junkies, and they're not going on a quest. They're like, this is, when people go to church, not because they necessarily believe in God, but because it's a place to belong. Mm-hmm. Or they join AA, not even because they're still an alcoholic, but just because it's a place to belong and talk about the problems. Or they go to Tony Robbins, which, by the way, I love Tony Robbins and did all seminars. But I go and I extract the fucking info, implement it, and move the fuck on. They become like the Tony Robbins junkie, and they go to all the events, and they don't ever change, but they just kind of fucking like to belong in that little self-help group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see a lot of guys do that with cold approach, where they're like, HB10 and fucking go out and I did this and this and that. And they're real by the book. They go out and they do 500 approaches a night, but they're all shitty approaches, and they never get, every time I see them 2 years later at the bar, they're still running around grabbing every girl by the arm awkwardly, and they can't hook, they can't open, they can't do, and you're just like, dude, what is this, man? Like, this is not, you're not building a lifestyle, you're not even building shit here, you're not even acquiring a skill. Like, you're just, you read one too many, fucking be the alpha male and go get what you want out of life and don't make any excuses. I like that, but in the right dose and all that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're not out acquiring a skill, and it's not, it should be really fun. You should be acquiring a skill, and you should be getting some out of it. If you're going out and cold approaching, and you're fucking in a cool city, and like, dude, I live in Hollywood. Dax and I live together, and we didn't have a social circle for like 3 years. And we were like, yeah, I mean, we want one, and when we have time for one, we'll put, like you said, we'll put time into it. But we're honestly like, dude, my game's so good, I can go out and fucking meet 9, 10, 11, 12, like, not every night, but give me enough time to swings at the plate, and I'll make something happen, because this city's packed full of them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, I also know what it's like to live in Oklahoma in a small town and go out and there's like one hot bar that's only open on Fridays and the rest of the week is dead, and you've already talked to the fucking hottest girls in there, and you've either dated them or you're not going to, or your friends have already banged them, and it's really fucking fucks with your head, because it's like, God, it's just such a mindset of lack of abundance. So I get that. In that scenario, you do need to build a social circle, because you're not going to get those top 5 girls if you just, because you can cold approach all 5 of them in one night,
Sure.
And then it doesn't hit. So I get that, but at the same time, I do think, what I say is go do cold approach until, here's the deal. What do you
do you have to like for me, like in my head, it's almost like I think I'd be ready to build a social circle when it's like, yeah, like I know that if I go out into a nightclub and that 9 and 10 is there, like especially especially like the 10, like if I know I can go up to that person and be myself and approach and be attractive, like when I've hit that level, like that's kind of the point where it's like, yeah, all right, now I can start building a social circle to try to increase that abundance of like ridiculously hot women in my life. But like I'm not even at the level of cold approach where I can like approach there, then